Hi, today we will check what August 2022 has in store for you. So, all you have to do is pick a number between these three numbers 2, 4, and 6. So, you can select any one number from 2, 4, or 6. If you are getting very drawn to two numbers, then it's okay to watch the pile of both the numbers. I'll see you in your reading. Hi, pile number 1. All those who selected the number 2, this is your reading. So, looking at August 2022, it feels like it's going to be a month of a lot of transformation. A lot of things will change. Many old things, your old self, certain of your old beliefs, your way of doing things, your way of thinking, your way of perceiving things, a lot of it's actually going to shift and transform in August 2022. What I'm getting is that it's like there is going to be a death of your old self, as if you are not going to be, or you're not going to resonate with a lot of parts of your own self. You might be getting a lot of new learnings as well. You might be receiving intuitively few messages that will make you think and believe that yes, there is something that needs to change. At a personal level also, what I'm getting is that if you are somebody who has been avoiding their healing, or who has been avoiding digging a little bit deeper and going into their inner child issues, August, I think, will kind of push you in that direction. So a very strong energy of change, and change is never comfortable, right? So that is what I'm getting here for you, that it's not going to be very comfortable. But when you look back and you'd see this period, you would actually realize that how much this change was needed so that you transform into a new person. You change into something that you should be, your authentic self. So, looking at your career, it's actually quite a good month for your career. What I'm getting is I'm seeing you getting a lot of small wins. I am seeing you getting certain opportunities coming your way. Okay, I'm hearing this message, so first I'll say this message. Don't let a unilateral vision to things ruin your learning. So, and also another message that don't just see things for what they are. There is always scope of expansion, growth, and learning once you just shift your perspective. Let me just put it simply. It's simply saying that, like, whatever you are being asked to do, or whatever it is that you are doing, or however you are placed in your career right now, that's not only it. So whatever it is you are doing, just make sure that you're shifting your focus a little bit to other things, or you're simply observant of anything and everything that should be happening around you, and not just simply observant of what you're being told to be observant of. Like, okay, so when we are working in any job or like business, sometimes we get very one dimensional in our approach and our thinking, right? So you are just being asked to be more open minded, both in regards to learning, in regards to your career. But I do see actually August being a very nice period. Like, if you can read the card, it's a card of delight, and you will feel like you're blooming into something new, and you would feel a lot of growth. You would feel that yes, things are changing in the month of August for you. And maybe for a very long time, you guys have been, those who have picked this pile, you have been someone who have been waiting, like, how do you grow ahead in your career? How do you bloom, and maybe, not just tread forward inch by inch, but how do you take that big leap of faith, or how do you get that big leap of success and growth? So that is what I'm seeing here, that's going to happen for sure. In fact, I am seeing a lot of tiny and small wins. I am seeing praises. I'm seeing you would feel like you are on the right path. So that's a great win. August is going to feel victorious in regards to your career. Now, while you are achieving everything at your career, what's happening is maybe you are not focusing as much as needed on your personal life and in yourself. Basically, your focus should also be a little bit in understanding yourself, because all these new changes that are going to happen, this also means that you need to be in a space that not only you're processing these, you're accepting that what is changing in you, you are accepting what's coming new to you. And okay, because I'm hearing this message also, I think August will bring a lot of triggers. It will bring a lot of emotional triggers. Every now and then you would feel that suddenly something has caused you to go down the rabbit hole of emotions or your past, or something is causing you to be more reactive and like you're feeling very triggered. I do see associations with the past here. For very few, I do see associations with your childhood. And for many others, actually, I'm seeing associations with the past as in like recent past, like 4, 5, 6 years, like when you had grown up. But for many, but for few, I'm also seeing associations with your childhood, like something that went wrong at that time that has like caused you to be in a certain manner. And August is definitely going to be a month in which you can feel very triggered, in which you can feel like reacting or lashing out quite many times. So I would say don't react, observe, of course, but it's not always easy. And you need to understand that why you are reacting is only because you haven't actually done the enough deep digging that's needed. So while the thoughts may be coming to you in an ebb and flow, but you're supposed to dig a lot more deeper within yourself. It kind of feels like, you are also resistant to digging deep within your own self, because you're kind of scared of what revelations might come through. And maybe the entire journey of healing and taking responsibility seems too much. Like, I'm also getting this message which is like, it's a little exhaustive, it'll become like too much on your plate right now. And maybe that is not something that you're seeking right now, but you would have to. Because if you really want to excel in your career, if you really want to excel in your life, then it's important that these issues are addressed at the right time. And just because you become aware of your issues, or you start taking small steps towards it, does not mean that you get healed. So healing is actually a very long process, because you may have taken a small step, then suddenly after few steps of good progress there might be a setback. So it is imperative that you dig deep. It's important. Don't ignore it if you get signs like that, or especially if you feel getting yourself very reactive. I just made a spread, so let me just check in my diary what I had written for the next message. Okay, thanks. So, additional messages that are here for you is, first is courage, second is faith, and third is freedom. And you know why I think these messages actually connect very well to your overall theme of August, which is actually about death of your old self and rebirth of your new self. So rebirth में अभी time है थोड़ा, but definitely death of your old self, and to be able to give yourself the desired rebirth, the much deserved rebirth, it is important that you imbibe these values in yourself, which is courage, faith, and freedom. So you're being asked to be very courageous. And so I think, what this also means is, I think it's got a dual meaning to it. First is like, suppose if you're somebody who's resisting your personal healing, then no, you have to be courageous. You have to face even your inner demons and fears and sorrow, and then come out of it maybe like a phoenix. So that's first. Second, in regards to your career also, what I'm getting is, because I'm seeing that you may have like a very narrow vision in which how like you are seeing things, or maybe being made to see things, what you're being asked to be courageous enough to look at things from different perspective, to question things if needed, to say your point of view, even if it feels like, oh, it may come across as stupid, or this is not how things work here. So still, just say your point. So be courageous, that's first. Second, freedom. So freedom again from your feelings, from resentment, from bitterness, from sorrow, from past. So it is important in the month of August that as and when you get any sign, or you see signs in your body, in your mind, that, oh, why am I feeling so reactive, or why am I feeling suddenly so triggered, or being why am I holding on to a particular emotion for such a long period? Maybe it is time that you question yourself then, that what is actually causing me to feel like this, and how do I get free of this feeling within me or this emotion within me, and how do I go towards healing myself? And the next message that I have here is faith. So, because things are changing so much and things may not always in the moment seem like they're going your way, while I do see that on the work front, but sometimes even if the work is going great, if we are not feeling very content within ourselves, or we are not very satisfied with our own selves, then anything outwardly does not also matter, right? So what I'm sensing is that you're just being asked to keep faith. It's okay, it'll all work out. And maybe it'll feel like a miracle, maybe it'll feel like, oh, I never expected that this can actually work out for me. But then that's what faith is all about, right? Like, you just know that you are on your path and you are giving it the best, and you are simply doing the things that you are to do as a human, which is maybe work on yourself, become more aware, just contribute to your daily dharma is what I meant, and then just let universe take over and provide you with what you deserve and what you have desired as you continue working towards it. There's another message here for some of you guys, that is, don't feel like a misfit, don't feel misunderstood, don't think because I'm so different or I'm so complicated I will never ever find anybody. I do mean this in regards to your love life. I also mean this in regards to your workspace and maybe your friend circle. Don't feel like a misfit, because instead of owning up being a misfit, which I think you totally should if you feel that you're a misfit, I think what you're doing is you're letting it control you. You're letting that emotion, oh, I don't fit, control you so much that in that process, you are the one who's actually becoming a little bit negative and critical of your own self. So, if you're a misfit, if you feel you don't fit, then you better own it. And if not, then you better tell yourself that there's nothing like that, because your tribe. What is that? Your vibe finds your tribe. So, I'm pretty sure people that you have around you, they knew what they signed up for when they became your friends or when they walked into your life. So don't feel like a misfit and have a little faith. Okay, now quickly looking into your week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. So your week 1 is going to be fantabulous. I'm literally getting that, for some of you, there's literally some opportunity also that can come your way. Some sort of a very important phone call or a communication. And if that happens, then please let me know. We are already in the week 1, right? Like, today's 1st August. So please do let me know. I'll be very excited to hear this. Then week 1 is actually going to be something about like a small win. You may get victorious over something, or something may just happen your way. I mean, I'm constantly hearing jeet gaye, jeet gaye, jeet gaye. That's why I'm not even able to articulate this properly. So, yes, that. Second, what I'm also getting in week 1 is, I think some of you who maybe could have lost balance in your life, you would work towards regaining balance, and you might be a little bit successful at it as well. So, that's good. Now, coming on to your second week. So, second week is going to be about a lot of shifts. There might be a lot of changes that might happen in your second week. You might feel that you may have to change things if you want your calmness and your oh, look how that just flipped. If you want your calmness and balanced life to be like a sustainable way of living, then you might first shift a lot of things in your schedule and in your life. Second, week 2 may also be calmer for some of you. I see you moving a little bit out of madness towards like newer roots of calm. So that's what I'm getting. If some of you are having a fight with a male figure in your life, it could be your father, it could be your boyfriend, somebody definitely mature, like older, grandfather, mentor for few. I think that is also something that this pile needs to heal then and maybe make way. Or this could also be a message that in week 2, maybe things will come up a lot on that front. Week 2 might feel very triggering on that front, and then you may finally decide that if you have to communicate and talk it out, or if you're going to be feeling what you're going to be feeling. Okay, coming on to your week 3rd now, it's going to be very confusing. You will have so much to do. It's going to be chaotic. There is going to be too much on your platter. You would not know how to prioritize. Things would move slower than expected, and there would be just too much to do, and you would not know how and where to place your focus on. And lastly, looking at your week 4 again, like, so okay, mostly it's like 3rd week, and I'm getting a little bit of 2nd week also being a little heavier. But your 4th week is again just going to be like chilling. Like, it's like when you would look back and you're like, oh, this month everything is taken care of. But emotional healing, that's going to be your responsibility. So make sure that you take care of that as well. Now, these are other 2 cards that had actually flipped out when I was preparing your pile. So I'm going to give you the message of these as well. Overall, August, I think you are definitely completing some sort of a phase of your life or some sort of a cycle. And August will feel like a very, very fulfilling month overall. I am sensing a little bit of office politics and negativity, or maybe just difference of opinions. And just know that you'll be protected from all of it. So, honestly speaking, in August, you're emerging out as a winner, even if not to the world, definitely to your own self. And you're definitely in August going to feel like, okay, yes, I know people who believe in me, who'd want to be around me, and who take me seriously, and that's good. And even if you don't get this, and even if this message does not come true, I just tell you one thing: you cannot ever seek validation outside. It has to be internal and not external. So I think you are going to be pretty happy with your August. So that's a message I have for you. If you feel negativity in your life is tuning up a little bit, remember, guys, salt water baths. So yes, that's about it. Let me know how much it resonated or how much of it do you look forward to. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. All those who selected the number 4, this is your reading. And I have to be very, 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 very honest. When I was taking out the cards for this particular pile, I was feeling very anxious. I kept on feeling like pulling out more cards, and that is usually a trait I have noticed in private readings as well. When somebody is very anxious and they do not feel very settled or very grounded, and they are just massively dissatisfied and living more like in the future and like restless, that is when they also keep on kind of forcing me to take out more cards by asking the same question in different variations. So yes, and energetically also I'm actually feeling very overwhelmed suddenly. So, first thing that I would advise to this pile is there is a massive, massive need of energetic clearing, and that's actually there is a message in additional messages for this pile as well. There is a need to clear yourself energetically. Why I'm pausing is because what I am also getting is that it's not just about an energy clearing, because see, you guys follow me since a while, you know the thought perspectives that I carry, and my only quest for everything is just to not sugarcoat it, and secondly just tell you the truth, to share as much knowledge as I can with you, so that then you guys can make an informed decision, whatever the decision may be. So when I'm saying words like energetic clearing, it might be bringing things like meditation to your mind, or you might go and spend money on like a Reiki or like a sound bath or sound healing, or you might think, okay, let me just do salt water baths, or let me just sit and meditate daily. Actually, no, the kind of cards and messages that have come for you. And if I also talk in detail a little bit about energetic healing, while the name is energetic healing, which simply means that okay, you're just clearing your energy field, it is actually a lot more deeper than that. So why a certain energy field or an auric field has been made around you, it is only because of the fact that since a very long time you have been carrying certain values, certain traits, certain belief systems with you, and now they have become so embedded in you that now they are a part of your aura. तो इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक अगर हम घर ऊपर ऊपर से साफ कर लें, इफ़ वी क्लीन आवर हाउस यू नो बाय मॉपिंग इट और स्वीपिंग इट, but the okay, that's not a good analogy. Okay, yeah, let me put it this way. So whenever guests are coming home, we might clean the house, you know, by sweeping and mopping it, but usually what happens is if you have to clean our room, we would just stuff everything in the wardrobe, right? So what happens is the moment somebody enters your room or the house, it'll look clean. Actually, it'll look clear, not clean. It'll look clear because it's been mopped and swept and there is nothing that's just sitting out on the sofa or your bed, etc. But the moment they'd open the cupboard, that's where all the clutter is, correct? So when we look at energetic clearing simply coming from a space of oh, let me do like a healing session, or let me do just simple salt water baths, or let me do maybe like a sound healing or a chakra healing, that is actually not the right way to be looking at energetic clearing. It is a little bit more deeper than that, because again, from just at a very superficial level, you can clear yourself up, but the cleaning, the deep cleaning, will only happen once you sit with yourself and you understand your fears and your attachments. So that is a very strong primary message for you. But now I'll start the reading in the template that I had to. Just I needed to let you know that I'm getting a very anxious feeling and I'm literally feeling like moving and you know, like the restless leg syndrome. So okay, let's just look into your reading and then maybe get cues as to what could be causing this. So overall theme, I love tarot cards, you know, I love tarot cards, oracle cards, how just messages come together with each other. So if you look at your overall theme, we have the devil and the judgment here. So it is yet again talking about the fears, the attachment issues, basically whatever it is in regards to yourself that you're holding on to very strongly. And you're holding on to it very, very strongly, thinking that no, this is who I am, this is who I'm wired. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I do want to share a personal story here. I was actually a very different person from what I am right now. In my earlier years, like somewhere around the 18s to the 21 period, that age, I was a very different human being. And I had to consciously work on myself and change myself into being what I am right now. But I had that consciousness and I wanted to change things in myself. And I'm also a person who gets tired of my own ways very quickly. So if I don't like something in me, then I get tired also of it very quickly. So I think that's a good starting point to move to the next level. So why I'm sharing my story is to tell you that sometimes you have to see things for what they are, even if it's about you, about your value system, about your attributes, about who you think you are, and you have to literally see it as they are and peg it as if it's a red flag or a green flag, if this is helping you or it's not helping you, if your value system is actually helping you grow or is actually keeping you chained. And once you do that exercise, you would actually realize that there are things within you that you actually need to change and you need to let go. I'm also getting the card of judgment here, you know, which is giving me this message of somebody being very kind and nice. I want to say altruistic, but I think that's not the word. But you know, somebody just functioning in a very old school format of how the world is. And you know, I'm all with you. I really, really wish we were living in those times, but unfortunately, we are not. So, what is an old school format? Old school format is simple, right? Like where you would take all friendships as important, deep friendships with the values being same in all friendships, correct? But we are living in different times today. There are so many variations in friendships also. There is friendships of convenience, there is the true inner circle, there are some friends who are basically just your work peers. So you cannot keep the same values at the same wavelength for everybody. So that is what I'm getting here. And I think August is going to be a lot more about understanding these things about yourself. I don't see any change, frankly speaking. In fact, what I do see is a lot of defensiveness. I see a lot of unhappiness and denial. I see a lot of denial and defensiveness actually. So I don't see any change, frankly speaking, but what I do see is a lot of introspection around this. So now quickly coming on to your career. So see, again, you have to, I mean, it's crazy how the cards are. What do you have to let go to grow? And then literally the next card is what is ready for action. Okay, so anyway, coming on to your career reading, I do see you feeling burnt quite a lot. I do see you feeling burnt out quite a lot. And building on the statement that I just spoke of right now, which is what is ready to go so I can grow, I think it also means that you are very stuck in your ways of doing work. You are very stuck in regards to how you take your career, you take your one day at a work, your week at a work, how you feel things should be functioning. So that is something that really needs to go. You need to let go of certain attributes and mindset of yours so that you can actually be more collaborative. That's first. And second, I do see you having a lot on your plate and you may be feeling burnt out. I'm kind of getting this message of aggression. No, not aggression. It being fast paced. So ऐसा हो सकता है that you might have like a day or two which is relaxed and then suddenly things would pick up pace and your next couple of days can go maddening. Then again like half a day or one day which is relaxed and then suddenly things will pick up pace and it will go maddening. And whatever you would have to do, I think it would require a lot of thinking and planning. Whatever you would do would actually impact the work, your career and the work that you do. Like the impact of that would be very long term. So it is important that whatever you do, you plan it out very properly. Take breaks so that you don't feel burnt out. Don't be so defensive. Don't be in denial. And like honestly, you can just accept these things to yourself. It's not like you're going and telling a friend or you're announcing it to the world. You can just accept it to yourself and then slowly start causing that change. So that is important. I was not at all slurring or stuttering in the previous video, the previous file, and now I am. So this is what I'm feeling, as if कितना कुछ चल रहा है दिमाग में. And जबकि the messages to me are quite simple, so I don't even need to feel like that, but this is what I'm picking on energetically, Okay, now coming on to yourself. So yet again, the message of self is quite connected to the larger message. It is saying that what is ready for action. Now, when you say that, okay, what can you immediately take an action on? What does that mean? Take a step back. It basically means that you should know what you should be taking action on, right? So that knowing is important before the action. And I actually see you diving a little bit more into knowing and understanding where is it that you need to be focusing in regards to your personal self now. You might actually take a little bit of action there, but don't mind me saying this, a lot of the action and everything is going to be very superficial. Not okay, so a lot of the action that you take in your personal self is going to be very day-to-day life based. Like, let me go and meet a friend, let me grab a drink, let me make a coffee, instead of it being what it needs to be, which is more deeper. Like, okay, how do I need to maybe look at myself wanting a break daily, or wanting to finish our work at a particular time because I see the burnt out energy. So it means that I want to be able to wrap everything maybe by 6 p.m. daily. Now for that, do I need to get up early? Do I need to set boundaries at work? And do I need to be communicating this? Or do I need to be more collaborative so that things get done quickly and I'm not waiting on for something? So that is the kind of energy I'm getting here. That what you would instead do is, instead of doing the latter, which I just said, you would be focusing on just the first. Oh, today let me grab a drink. Oh, today let me grab coffee. Or today, I'm just making this plan. But not like the deeper work that, maybe right now the priority in my life is to have a work life balance. That's first. Second, I'm also getting like a very deep message of spirituality here. So, what is it that you need to be doing for spiritually? And I always tell people, you can't be spiritual if you have not worked on yourself at a psychological level. It is disconnected, it is wrong. So, yes, you need to be working on yourself, is what I'm hearing. And secondly, I think this month may lead you to get little bursts of intuition or little bursts of like awakening, or like finding yourself and knowing that, oh yes, this is what it is, or feeling actually very light, if I can put it like that. I think you might like pick on some spiritual activity that will make you feel light. And please don't mind me repeating this message, which is that you can feel all the light in the world with anything you do in that moment. Important is what stays on for longer and becomes a part of who you are. Like feeling light basically means what? Feeling calm, feeling relaxed, feeling like, okay, whatever it is, you can take that on, right? So how do you build that as an attribute to yourself, and not just something that you engage in an activity for a bit and that's when you feel that? So just think about that. Coming on to additional messages, I've already explained to you the first one, which is energetic clearing, so I'm going to skip that. The second is divine source and grief. So definitely some of you are getting a little bit more connected with spirituality, and that's good, that's great. And whatever it is you're getting drawn to, I'd say just pick it up, just pick and explore right now. And also believe in the fact that even though you're going through a lot personally, as in your emotions and your mind is like maybe playing a little bit of tricks on you also into making you believe and feel certain things, but just know that there is a plan at the end of it all. And lastly, grief. See, I'm telling you guys, like these are all cards pulled out from different decks and decks, but at the same time they are giving a similar message, and it is talking about attachments majorly. It's talking about codependency. It's talking about your own fears, because of which you could be not allowing yourself to grow. So anyway, overall the messages are also about grief. Whatever it is that you're feeling, first allow yourself to feel that, and then sit and question that why are you feeling what you're feeling. I would say maybe this pile focuses more on the feeling and then doesn't question enough to be able to change that. I think that needs to change. You need to dig a lot more deeper into your feelings and look at how you can change what is causing you grief. Is there anything that you can do about it? Now looking at your weeks. So frankly speaking, overall, if I have to tell you, your entire month does feel very, very hectic, very alone, like managing things on your own, very stuck up. I am constantly seeing denial and defense, so I'm just going to repeat that message. So your first week is going to be about wanting to bring more stability. I am getting this message both for your work and your life, but unfortunately I think in that quest what you may end up doing is you may end up spending money where it was not needed, so be a little bit careful of that. And your first week I think may be a little bit slow, like you might also take things a little bit slow, and you might like think of being a little bit more stable with your routine. Then moving on to your second week is, I think, whatever you have tried to not deal with is just literally going to bubble up in the second week and burst. So second week I see you thinking a little bit on the financial front also. I don't think you would feel very satisfied with your finances or whatever has been happening in regards to your cash flow. And in the second week I'm also sensing that you would be a little bit emotionally disturbed. And this is where inner child healing comes into the picture. Read up on codependency and attachment issues and figure out your attachment style. I also have a video of that on my YouTube. But yes, that is needed. Second week is going to be tough both emotionally, and also you might feel a little alone. You might feel that you're not making as much in regards to finances as you maybe thought. Then coming on to your third week, so third week again seems very, very difficult. Third week again seems like, you are just like stuck in a rut, or you don't know how to get out of, like, your mindset actually is what I'm seeing. Because see, the eyes are closed. I think the eyes are covered. So it's nothing to do with what's happening outside. It's more to do with, your mind and your heart. So you would feel stuck up. You would have troubles communicating. You would not know how to get yourself out of the situation, or out of what you're feeling. How to. You could also be maybe a little bit drowned in work in your third week. So be careful about that. And then, yet again, your fourth week is also saying that, you may have learned to tame the things a little bit. A little bit, not a lot, because it's also about keeping patience, keeping courage, keeping faith, is what I'm hearing. So, yeah, like in the last week, you may feel, oh, I managed to like really work and live very nicely with such a hectic and a difficult month. But at the same time, it's not that the journey is complete yet. So your fourth week could still be a little bit dramatic, could still require you to like keep your patience and your mature attitude on. So that's something that you'd need to focus on. It's like, when you look at this pile outwardly, they are very patient. But when it comes to actually being alone with themselves, I don't think this pile knows how to be alone. Yeah, actually, one of your messages could be that it's about time that you fly alone in the sky. There's a need of freedom. There's a need to be able to fly in the sky alone. There's a need of freedom of whatever your thinking and your way of like looking at things has been. You need to free yourself from yourself, is what I would say. So that's it, pile number 2. In case any of the messages resonated or any of the message you look forward to, please to leave a comment below. I love feedbacks of these readings. It also keeps me motivated to keep on making readings. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. All those who selected the number 6, this is your reading. First message, before I forget, what I saw while shuffling the pile, I'm giving that to you. This month, or no, actually not just limited to this month, from now on, for the next couple of months or weeks, this will vary from people to people, you already know that you're going through something that is requiring you to transform. So I'm seeing that energy of change. I'm seeing that energy of death of your old self and rebirth of the new. It was the card of death that kept coming out. Along with that, strength. So which basically means that while you could be aware, and why I'm saying you could be aware, because I am getting messages here that you know that yes, things will change, they will not stay the same, or they will not stay what they are currently, but maybe you don't know the magnanimity. Sorry. So, what I'm kind of getting is that you don't know the level at which things will transform or they will change. So, maybe that's why there could be a little hesitation, which I'm seeing in the cards as well. Hesitation and unpreparedness. So, yes, that's one message that I'm giving it to you. Then I did see another card while shuffling, and I would like to give you that message as well. So the other card also spoke of just keep going with the flow, keep staying on the path that you're being drawn towards or that you're being directed to take, and it's going to work out. It may not be very conventional, it can definitely be an unconventional path. It can feel a little adventurous to society and even to your own self, but keep at it. So, yes, those were the messages. Now, coming on to the spread that I had prepared for you guys. So, when we look at the overall theme of your cards or overall theme for the month of August for you, what I'm getting here is the card of the World and the High Priestess. So, which again talks about that you are actually completing a cycle, and there are few cards in the deck, which is talking about intuition, which is talking about knowing or having some sort of an ancient knowledge and knowing that, okay, yeah, I know that this is going to happen or something is going to happen like this. Like before it happens, you must already be either getting downloads or be feeling that, yes, why do I feel like something like this is going to happen in my life? So I'm definitely getting that message. And yes, this is a confirmation. Whatever it is that you're feeling intuitively or your gut is guiding you could be correct. That's first. Second, you are definitely at the end of a very important phase of your life or a cycle of your life, or if to speak astrologically, a dasha of your life, and you could be starting a new dasha altogether. I would tell this pile to get into some sort of a habit of connecting with your intuition or meditating or just closing your eyes and focusing on your breath for 2 to 5 minutes. I think that will be really helpful to you. And because whatever you're feeling, you may sometimes need to disconnect from the world to be able to completely associate with that feeling again consciously, and then draw whatever larger insights or bigger insights the universe wants to tell you. So you need to be receiving the bigger messages that universe wants to share. So do that. Now coming on to your career. So something is changing in your career for sure, or maybe that yes, things need to change in your career. Maybe that's why you are at the end of something and you could be starting something new. But why am I getting the card here of you being a little bit emotional about it, conflicted about it, moody about it, and I don't want to say delusional, but maybe not seeing the whole picture. Like, in the light of the moon, things are not what they seem now. What we see at night is not necessarily the same picture that we see in the day, because there is lesser light at night, so things tend to become a little camouflaged, they tend to become a little distorted. So that is what I'm getting in regards to your career, that you need to explore more or look at things from a different perspective, from a different lens. You need to know the whole picture. The holistic picture is very important. It's not even about just changing and twisting the angle. Now, how will you get to know the holistic picture? Fitting in my analogy, that would happen in the sunlight. So that would happen when you are completely open of anything and everything that comes your way, with immense faith and trust in universe. And because you're already so intuitively connected, you should know that you are on the path of receiving some major blessing. But then completely put your faith in universe, right? So I'm seeing some definite career change, okay, or some beginning of new, or some new turn that you'd be taking in your career for sure. And whatever it is, it'll look maybe small right now. It'll look maybe not so, like you'd not feel very sure of it right now, or you would kind of feel that I don't know, like I'm just doing my own thing. Is it ever going to be like something stable or something bigger? Trust me, it will. It will really become something stable and something bigger, but all in the right time. Just take that turn, take the leap of faith right now. Don't question things a lot, but keep your mood in check, keep your mind in check. And don't be very moody, don't be very emotional, don't be questioning a lot of things, don't have self doubts. Just be relaxed. And I think maybe just repeat to yourself that, like if universe or God got me up until here now, and it made me do whatever energy or power you believe in, that it made me do what I am doing currently and the path that I am on right now, then I know that it'll only figure out the rest of the path for me as well. So you need to have that energy. That's first. Second thing, I think don't get very bogged down by negativity or some sort of maybe power play or like a politics at work. So, no, I mean, that's not where your focus should be right now. Your focus should only be on spreading your wings, flying high. And if you fall down, you simply learn to get back up and fly high again. That's it. Rest anything, if it's the wind that's causing you to fly down, what's causing you to like not let yourself be, that should not be the focus right now. And trust me, there is the energy of sun that's looking at you. And it's so interesting. I was just telling the previous pile also, I love how certain cards connect from different deck. So you have the moon here and then you have the sun. So your focus is to be moving away from this into this. I'm also getting another message here. If you are somebody who works a little late at night or stays up late at night, stop doing that. You should start working in the daytime. In fact, preferred if you could wake up slightly early in the morning, like agar aap 11 o'clock tak uthte ho, if you wake up at 11, maybe try waking up at 9ish. But yeah, mornings and daytime is going to be very productive for you in regards to your work. Stop working at night. Night is not going to be a good. In fact, tire yourself out mentally so much in the morning that the moment you go to the bed at night, you fall asleep. That's very important for you. You should not have the night time to be able to think about anything only. Coming on to your personal self now. So, I don't know why, like since past couple of readings, I always get this message, and this is not even like the same card that I usually draw the message from. It's a different deck altogether. But first, if you can, do a little bit of charity, little bit of something. There is some karmic balance via charity that you would also restore. So when you go and decide like, okay, yes, I'm going to be like donating something or doing something for the community, even if it seems like a bigger ask, or if in your mind suddenly a bigger amount pops up, and if you can afford it, of course, then try doing that first. Second, maybe don't keep it very simplistic in sense that you've made an online transfer to some community and it's done. No, I think you need to be involved in the process of donation and charity. Like, how some people put up food stalls to feed the poor. So it's demanding a little bit something like that. So if you can, please do that. Now, coming on to your personal life. So, I mean, your personal growth and yourself for the month of August. I think this pile now is kind of like getting bogged down by work also a little bit, or getting moody about work. Why? Because I think you guys are just questioning about the bigger purpose in your life. So while you could be focused on the bigger purpose of your life, what you're being told instead is to be more in the now. So even if you look at all these experts on the internet who talk about hustling culture, or who educate people about how to go about building the life that they want and think big and want more. So while they could have a larger goal, what they also do is they break down that larger goal into smaller goals, and then it ultimately comes down to what to do each day and what to do today. So you should be focused more on being in the now, and that is something that's going to be really important. Don't ask too much about the future. Don't just question things like, what is my purpose? Is my destiny supporting me or not? This and that. No, just focus on what is it in the moment, in the now, that you can be doing to make this happen. Now, coming on to your additional messages. So first thing I'd like to highlight is that you do have a lot of flying energy in the cards, and I'm seeing a lot of birds in the cards as well. So it is definitely about freedom from your own emotions and your own mindset, and it is also about willing to change. Because birds, if you look at them, they fly. They are changing landscapes. There are migratory birds. So it is important that you are also ready to like fly high and experience the change, even if it comes at the helm of a little bit fear. So the other message that is here for you is receiving. You have to be more open to be receiving, which I'm also getting from your career message and everything else like that I've spoken of up until now, that you need to be more receiving of things. And even in yourself, there was this message of, you being a little bit sheltered and being a little bit protective for your own self. So this protection and this sheltering is maybe keep making you a little bit closed off as well. So you need to be more open to receiving to whatever universe has to offer you, and that will also come from a little bit of faith and trust, where you would know that the universe has the right things chalked out for you, even if things may not have worked in the past, but there are right things that are going to be planned for you. And honestly speaking, when is a person closed off to receiving? When they just expect the same outcome with whatever they get, right? So maybe you need to work on that. Maybe you need to believe that this time the outcome will not be the same, and hence why would you not want to receive, right? The other message that is here is, right now, this I've touched upon a little bit when I spoke of yourself, but yes, it is about that, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You have to trust that it is only once you've handled each moment perfectly, each moment rightly, that is when these all moments are weaving into a bigger goal or a bigger moment or a momentous occasion in your life. So these little moments are important. So just be in the now. Some of you may also actually be required, you should maybe be practicing meditation. Get into a habit of just maybe observing your breath for a couple of minutes every day, and that might help. But yes, it is important that you know how to focus on in the right now, instead of asking all the bigger questions of how and when will things change, when will I become like a big person, if my destiny is actually playing out in my favor or not. All that is not required. Just trust that you are on the right path. The universe is with you irrespective of whatever changes are happening in your life, and especially your career, because I see that things are changing in your career. And be open to receiving without judgment, without any previous notions, without being stuck in the past. The last message here is yet again with a word. It is saying freedom. So it is saying that, I no longer want this fury ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. So why I'm getting this message of resentment, I feel, is also because, like I just said, when is a person closed off to receiving? Or why would even a person need to be told, oh, be open to receiving? I mean, we are humans. We all want to receive great things, right? But a person is closed off to receiving something when they expect the same result, like whatever happened in their past. And if it was not favorable, then what tends to happen is we grow bitter and resentful towards those experiences. And also kind of getting this message that if you are somebody who never felt very supported in your life by your family, by your friends, by your destiny, then maybe you've become this person who's just like very ready to take on things independently, or maybe overtly independent, or you kind of have like maybe made it your mindset that whatever you'd have to do it alone. Now, while maybe that is a good mindset, but what is problematic here as per my cards is that you do that, but you do that with a positive mindset. If you're doing that with resentment and bitterness towards people who have not helped you, or towards losing faith in people, hence the need of sheltering yourself, then that is not cool. Then that is not the right thing to do. So free yourself from the resentment and bitterness and your past, which has shaped up your experiences and your belief systems in a manner that you need to be simply told that, hey, be open to receiving more. And yeah, that's about it. It's about time that you release yourself from the bonds of the past. Now, coming on to looking at your week. One minute. So looking at your weeks 1, 2, 3, 4 for the month of August. So your first week is going to require you to have a lot of maturity, patience, calm approach to things, being tactful, of handling difficult situations also with love and patience and kindness. But at the end of first week, what you would actually feel is you would be very proud of yourself. You would actually feel that, oh my God, I never knew that I would be capable of multitasking to this extent and handling so many tasks. So you would be really proud of yourself. I also feel there could be some sort of a fulfillment or some sort of an accomplishment that you might actually experience both in the first week and in the third week. But definitely you might do something in the first week in terms of maybe scheduling your days or picking up like tasks, multitasking in a manner that it seems very seamless. Although it may require you to have patience and have like the right emotional balance, but it'll still feel very seamless. Now moving on to your second week. So for second week, I'm kind of getting this message that first, something to do with finances a little bit. You may feel that okay, you're not very financially ready or stable for some sort of a leap of faith that you wanted to take. That's first. Second, there could be some opportunity or partnership or financial help coming your way, and I see you being very skeptical for it. So yet again, maybe that's why the card of receiving here. Be open to receiving. And you know what's the worst thing that can happen? That person, whoever's offering you help, can be not the right person. Like maybe the experience would be similar to what you've already had. Then what would you do? You would just tell yourself that, oh, see, I already knew, and that's the reason I don't take help, right? Don't do that. Instead, tell yourself that, you know what, even if this experience was not right, that's fine, but I at least showed universe that, hey, I'm open to newer experiences. I am ready to let go of my past. And that is when the universe will start working and be like, hey, you passed my test, let me send you the right person. So yes, I would say whatever comes your way in second week, be more open to receiving that. And don't be so sheltered and don't be so protective of your own self. Coming on to third week, I definitely see you having some sort of sense of accomplishment and some sort of a small win for sure. You would feel like, you know, you have like won a war or like you've won something like really big in your life. But there's also an advice in third week that is just pick your battles right. So not everything is worth fighting for, not everything is worth reacting for. Just remember that. Lastly, coming on to your fourth week. So your fourth week is basically telling me that while your week 1 to 3 would go with a slightly renewed or a fresh perspective, suddenly in fourth week the work would be too much and you might spiral back into your old ways of beliefs and like working around things and perceiving things. So I would tell you to be a little cautious of that. I do see your fourth week being a little bit full of responsibility and you may be having too much on your plate, and it's very normal, right? Like the moment the things get very overwhelming, it's easier to just feel lost and then suddenly go into this rabbit hole of feeling, oh, things are not right, or I'd forever be stuck at the ground level just doing the basics. So I would tell you not to think like that. Just take the week as a week and let it pass. One thing also I'd like to add on, because I had to re-record the entire video for this particular pile because some technical issue, that in your personal space within yourself you could have the need of sheltering yourself and protecting yourself, and this is again coming a little bit from your past experiences, from your own experiences of your life, and like, you know, how you feel that destiny is unfair to you or karmically something is wrong and you never get things happen for you the right way. I would tell you, your overall pile is giving me the message that there is no need to feel so sheltered or no need to protect yourself to this extent that the universe feels that you're totally closed off to receiving. And the more you are sheltered, the more you are actually living in the past and not in the right now. And the more you're questioning only about the bigger things and the bigger purpose in life, it is about living in the future and not in the now. So you're simply being asked to live in the now. So that's it, pile number 3. If any part of this resonated with you, or if there's any part of it that you look forward to, please do comment down and let me know. It kind of motivates me also to keep the readings going on my YouTube channel. Bye.